What's up, everyone? So today I want to talk about flat Earth. Now, a lot of people believe in the flat Earth, and I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I'm just here on a rant. Okay, I'm just so tired of seeing this everywhere. Oh, well, it's not everywhere, but whatever. A lot of places where people will just blindly criticize flat earthers, and I'm not a flat earther myself, but I feel sorry for them because there's this whole misconceptions and about what they believe, and it's like, don't criticize someone for their beliefs if you're not going to criticize what they actually believe and have to say. Don't just theorize and misconcept or whatever the word's called from afar. You gotta get into it, really know what it is they believe and why they believe it, and come at it with an open mind. Because I mean, if you think about it, it's crazy. Like, are they really the crazy ones? I mean, we grow up being told what to think and believe. We're being told our whole lives different things, and today's just example happens to be about the shape of the Earth. We're told that it's a globe, and we just take everyone's word for it, and we criticize other people for thinking differently. It's like we get all our info from like one organization known as NASA, maybe a couple others, I don't know, but that is a bit weird, isn't it? And then there's the whole fact that a lot of the photos we get are photoshopped and all that jazz. Shane Dawson did a good video about it recently. I'll link that below if you want to check it out. But it is just crazy how we just blindly follow what they tell us and take their word for it, and we don't question anything. And then it's like we criticize other people for what they think just because it's different. It's a weird concept to me how we do that. And I'm not saying we should stop believing in the round earth or none of that. I'm just saying, let's be a little more open-minded and accepting of other people when their opinions differ from our own. I mean, they believe it for a reason. You can't just write it off as they're a bunch of lunatics. I mean, that's the perfect way to write off anyone who believes differently than you. Oh, they're just a bunch of crazy people, blah blah blah, you're stupid if you agree with them. It's like, be a little more open-minded than that. So there's a few misconceptions about flat earth that I kind of want to get into and sort of, I don't know if debunk's the right word, but just kind of lay it to rest, whatever you want to call it. So first thing is, a lot of people, when they criticize flat earthers, they're like, how do they believe the earth is flat? How would that work? Is it just kind of like floating up in space, blah blah blah? They like bring up space, but the thing is flat earthers don't believe in space. They don't believe it exists. They believe the earth is just here, there's a dome over it, and then like heaven or whatever is above it, firmament or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just look it up. They don't believe space exists, so we're not like floating around like some weird flying saucer or whatever. No, it's flat earth. It's stable. It's on the ground, for lack of a better way to put it. I don't know what ground that is, but I've always wondered that, by the way. It's like, is there a bottom of the universe? Like, just ground, ultimate ground? Like, I mean, I doubt it, but that'd be weird. Anyway, another thing they say, it's like, well, what about this? How does the sun go up over the sky like this if it's just floating above the earth like this? It's the thing called perception. So imagine, let's say, I'll just use a cracker. Okay, just don't ask why I have them on my desk. I just do. So let's say this is the sun. Okay, let's say this is the earth. It's going like this, but to us, since we're tiny and we're right here, and there's like trees and stuff, all kinds of stuff in the way, it's like this, and it looks like to us that it's coming above the horizon when it's actually just doing this the whole time. It's like way up there, it's doing this, but to us, it like looks like that. If that makes any sense. It's all perception is what they believe. I'm not, again, I don't believe flat earth. I lean toward the earth being round and all that stuff, but I'm just saying, let's be fair. Like, let's not just blindly criticize. And another thing, it's like, how does earth and sun work and all that? So imagine, this is I'm sure most of you know the theories by now, but I can't really do it with it. Just pretend the earth is right here, okay? This is the sun and moon. It goes like this, like around, kind of like a clock, if you will. Like, the earth is, so the earth is flat and circular. I'm gonna show a picture. It's like that. It's like circular, like this, and then sun and moon are like going around it like that. And another thing is, well, what if you you know how you're on the beach or whatever, and you see off in the distance a boat will disappear behind the horizon, like it'll bottom first go like that, so that proves the earth is round, right? Well, I mean, there's a lot, I don't know about that. I mean, there's a lot of videos on YouTube, and, you know, trustworthy, right? It looks like that at first, but if you just pull up your binoculars or whatever and zoom in, you can see it again. It's a matter of perception, apparently. I've never tried it before, but there you go. I mean, they have their own explanation. And another thing is, how do you end up at the same spot again? Like, you can go like this forever, and then ultimately you'll come back. Well, that's a little more tricky. I don't really know how they believe it. Let's say this is the earth. This is way too tiny. But hey, it's the only round thing I got, so let's just try it. So let's say you're right here. You go like this, and then the earth kind of has this weird way of winding you back again. Kind of like a current, if you will. I don't know if that's what they believe, but look it up. They have explanations, is all I'm saying. My whole point here, I'm probably spreading misconception. My whole point here is to just look into it more with an open mind. Just understand where they're coming from. Really, truly look it up and learn what it is they believe and what they have to say. It might answer a lot of your questions. I mean, it's okay to have questions. I definitely have a lot of questions myself about things that I believe in, but it's when you use those questions as a way of debunking what they have to say, because just because you haven't heard their answer to said question doesn't mean they don't have one. You know what I mean? Same goes with anything else, really. If someone else believes in something, and you're like, but how is this and this and this? You see, that's why I don't believe it. It's so stupid, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, wait for them to give you an answer before you just come to a conclusion that they're a bunch of idiots and their belief is stupid. I mean, hear them out first on everything they believe and all their explanations before you come to your conclusion. And even if you have to come to a conclusion, I mean, like, there's a lot of, not sure if I want to call it evidence, but there's a lot of things that sort of point to the idea that Earth could be flat or whatever. Me personally, I don't really believe in a flat Earth. I mean, I have an open mind, though, about everything, so I just admit I don't know, because I've never been to space or anything like that. Most of us haven't. I'm not sure if I really want to be an astronaut someday to find out for myself, but, I don't know. At some point, you just gotta, I mean, you can either be, I don't know what the word is, agnostic. That means if you don't know if there's a God or not, but I'm talking about other beliefs. You can either admit you don't know 100% sure about something, just, it is what it is, who cares, or you could lean one way or the other. And at some point, if you do lean one way or the other, you have to put your trust in something. You have to have blind faith in something, in an idea, because there's no way to really know 100% for sure for yourself, because you're being told info by other people, and at some point you just have to take their word for it unless there's a way you can actually find out. And I'm sure there's ways to find out that the Earth is round and all that on your own, and I'm sure that flat earthers have an answer for those things if you were to bring those things up. Well, I did this and this and this, and they'll be like, oh, it's because of so and so and so. So I'm just saying, let's not act like people are a bunch of idiots. Let's hear them out on what they have to actually believe first. Don't just be like, that's so stupid. You have to actually hear them out, and any questions you have, perhaps they can answer. And don't just talk to one idiot on that side. and come to a conclusion about all of them. This goes with any group, any belief system. Like, don't just come across the one or two or just a few of them and then be like, they're all like that. Like, you just can't do that. Everyone's an individual. Everyone's got some info that others are missing. You know, it seems like. I mean, you'll hear these you'll see these debates online, for example, and it's never ending. Say a debate about politics, it just doesn't end, man. At some point, one of them is going to give up, but it's like, who's the winner in that case? I'd say it's the person giving up because they're like, I'm not going to waste my time on this anymore. I mean, this is stupid. But because it seems like they just keep going until one of them's info runs out, or they just get bored, or they're like, I have a life, this is really dumb, I should stop continuing on, and they stop. So, it's like, for me, let's say, example, I'm not in politics, I'm sort of in the middle, independent in politics, mainly because I don't have enough info. Like, there's so much that I don't know. I need to pay more attention, I know. But, seems like both sides, they're smarter than me, and it's like, well, why should I lean toward your side? Oh, because blah, 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 blah. That's a good point. And they're like, no, it's because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, they raise a good point. No, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and then it's like they're both trying to convince me, and then they start debating each other. No, blah, blah, blah. No, blah, blah, blah. No, blah, blah, blah. No, it's because blah, blah, blah. No, but that's not because blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, back up. Let them fight it out. See who wins. It seems like that's always the case. There's always this tug of war going on in politics. That can be a video for another day. But same can be said for this here. Like, flat earth, globalists? I don't know what you want to call it. You know, it seems like somebody always has more info to offer. So, does anyone really know everything? Let's be honest. It's like, that's why you can't just write them off as a bunch of Looney Tunes, because who knows? Maybe they have more info you don't know about. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. I'm just rambling, but hopefully you get the point. Don't blindly criticize. Just get all the facts first, and by that I mean, like, in this case, get all what they actually believe before you start digging into it and dissecting it and proving it wrong or whatever. But anyway, just come at things with an open mind. Be polite and courteous. Enough of this whole righteous anger thing that people have going on, where they're like, I'm sorry, but it's always I'm sorry, but that starts off the sentence. You know, you're getting somewhere ignorant with that. But they're like, I'm sorry, but I don't respect you if you blah 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 blah, or I'm sorry, but you're an idiot, blah blah blah. It's like, that is the most closed-minded statement you can make. Just be polite and just be open-minded. You're always learning something new, so just be a student, always, and know that there's always more to learn about stuff. So yeah, anyway, hopefully you got something from this video. I don't know, just let the debates in the comments ensue, I guess. I'm probably not going to get any comments, but whatever. Anyway, links in the description below for my social media and all that stuff. Facebook isn't quite active, but hey, be there for updates anyway, if you want to. And Twitter, I'm definitely active on. Tumblr a little bit. Usually I have like written versions of videos before videos, only this time I decided to just make a video instead, and it actually went well, surprisingly. I'm also an aspiring author. So far I got 3 digital books on Amazon, self-published. Right now I'm currently working on actual legit chapter books and stuff, which is going to take a long time before those, so writer's block and all that crud. But anyway, feel free to hit that subscribe button and like the video and share if you want to. I'm not telling you what to do, subliminal messaging.